Well, Sweet Trading Cards here, back with another graded card reveal. This time, CGC. So my first time I've sent anything over to CGC. I've bought a few slabs and resold them, but never actually had my own grading done there. So this is a 12 card order. I sent it on February 16th, or it was received February 16th. I sent it the day that PSA announced their price increase. I was going to send a shipment to CGC anyways, but when that announcement came through, I kind of rushed this one out. So I probably didn't review the cards as well as I should have, but we'll see when we see the grades here. I did get it back, or shipped on 3/27. I just got it back today on the 30th, so about a 6-week turnaround. When I first sent them, this is economy. When I first sent it, it did say a 20-day turnaround, but in the midst of my cards being there, they actually extended the 20 to 40, so I kind of expected that. Still, 6 weeks is pretty good. The reason I sent these off is I wanted them back sooner. And I'll go over that here in a bit when we go over what the cards are. But just kind of the reason that I did that. I also signed up for the I think their middle tier is like $159, but you get $150 in credit back towards your grading. So that's kind of nice. With that, you're really not paying much as long as you're sending cards, which that's the only reason you should be signing up for it anyways, right? Plus you get discounts on further submissions over their base pricing. So all in all, unlike PSA, which their membership really isn't worth much, CGC's is. I mean, you're really not paying for much as long as you're sending them, a decent amount of cards each year. You're probably making money. Anyways, don't want to get in that too long. The cards I sent here, they're all hockey. They're all Macklin Celebrini, and they're actually only two different cards. They are rookie card inserts from O-Pee-Chee Platinum that had a really high gem rate. And they have cheap cost but really high resale. The reason I wanted to get them back quickly is cards with that profile tend to have a lot of cards sent, and if I was waiting for PSA, there's a good chance the price could have dropped by quite a bit. So, plus, I was hoping they would make the playoffs. They still have a shot, but it's looking less likely now. If Sharks have made the playoffs, getting these cards back in time for the playoffs was another reason that I was looking for that. So, anyways, let's kind of get into the cards here. And like I said, it's mostly the same card. Just graded a couple times. There's two different cards. I have 8 of one and 4 of another. So, kind of take a look at here. I'm not gonna do the thumb over that because it's kind of awkward, and I already know the grades, so it's not really that big of deal here. I am gonna see. Yeah, let's do that zoom there. So, give you a better look at the card. Okay, so this is the Sweet Selections out of O-Pee-Chee. I had bought these for like less than $5 a card by the time I had in shipping to CGC and everything. I think I had it down as like $5 for that, and then grading cost me about $18 with shipping and everything. So it's about $23 a card to get this, and I'll probably be flashing up the actual amount here shortly. So, and so anyways, the profile with these, I bought them for under 10. They're now going for about 15 ish if you were to buy one now. But PSA 10s of these cards are going for $200 roughly. So I was kind of like, well, let's get these out, get these graded, get them back. Obviously, CGC is less desirable. The 10s aren't going to go for 200, but I was thinking I could get a decent amount out of them, 125. Plus, there's also the chance at pristines, which then are going to be closer to the PSA 10 value, so that's kind of nice. Unfortunately, this one got a 9, and that's a bummer. That means I'm probably going to sell this for $20, $25, and see if it goes there. So that's start there, and then follow it up, second one, also got a 9. Like I said, I was in kind of a rush to get these out because I knew there was going to be a big rush on CGC. So I didn't review these cards as well as I should have because I just got them in from ComC like that same day. I gave them a quick once over, make sure there wasn't anything glaring, but you know, my overall amount of attention that I give them was not the same. I will admit that. So anyways, next card up here, this is kind of what we were really hoping for. This is one of the PSA, or the pristine 10s, so harder to get. This one gives should be closer to a PSA value. I don't think it's going to quite match it in TCG. It's kind of right at the PSA 10 value. If you get a CGC 10, maybe a little bit less, but depending on the card. But yeah, that's only that goes there. So that's a pretty good hit. This one here is 8.5. You know, unfortunately a little bit lower. Part of me is thinking I should have better reviewed those, but anyways, that's that. And then the next one here was an 8, even more so. Unfortunately, those really aren't worth much more than the raw value of about 15, so I'm not sure what I'll do with those. And another 8.5, so not looking great right now. It does get better. But yeah, like I said, probably should have maybe given these a little bit more than the quick once over, especially with the, I mean, they have like 80% gem rates. So I'm way underperforming at this point, but this one did get a 10, so that's nice. Got that. And then here is the last of these sweet selections, and it also got a 10. So we got 3 here. I'm hoping to get about 150-ish on this one, and maybe like 110 on the other 10s. 25 there. Regardless of the cost I bought these and the grading fees and stuff, we're still ahead even with the low one. But let's go ahead now. This is another one. This is the Showmanship Macklin. These are all rookie years, so rookie card inserts. This one got the regular 10, so these are also selling for the same amount, right around, in fact, the Showmanship's probably been a little bit higher. They've been around $200 on a PSA 10, so I would say that's maybe 120, 125-ish that I'd like to get out of that. Here we go with another pristine on the Showmanship, so that's nice to hit another one of those. Hopefully about at 150 on that one. And here we go with the third one of the Showmanships. It got a regular 10, so definitely doing a lot better on the Showmanships than I did on these sweet selections. And then the last one is another pristine 10. So yeah, I mean, considering I kind of rushed those, didn't review them. I would like a little bit better gem rate, but even with CGC, as long as these can move relatively decent, they're going to be pretty highly profitable for me. We'll have to see how well they sell. I didn't want to do too many of them because obviously you get backlogged with a bunch of the same cards, so maybe having a distribution of the grades is better in that regard because I've got different price points, rather than all being, you know, 10s and trying to sell the same card 10 times can be a little rough even on PSA slabs, you know, trying to move them all. So anyways, that's what I had there. Overall, time-wise, getting the cards back 6 weeks-ish. Yeah, I'd originally hoped to be about 4 based off their time frame, but I understand. You know, I knew they were going to have a rush. That's why I rushed to get that out that day. When PSA announced that change, I knew there'd be a lot of people shifting over to there, and they've likewise since had to raise their price a little bit, not much, and also extend their time. So that's obviously a sign that they got pretty slammed during that too. So with these, like I said, I hope to get a pretty good movement on those. Part of them is the card itself, you know, not necessarily the grading. Will I keep going with CGC? Yes, I might do a little bit more of the TCG stuff because those are a little bit more recognizable in these slabs versus the sports. There's Not a lot of sports. The one other downside I will bring up is CGC does have you pay up front for the grading versus PSA waiting until the cards are actually graded. So if their time lengthens any further, that becomes more of a downfall for me, because that means that money's tied up longer. Whereas PSA, basically by the time they charge you for the grading, you get the cards back within a week, you know. So that's one downside there. So as long as they can keep their times relatively short and their cost is not too big a deal, and as long as I can move these cards relatively in a decent time frame. I know they're going to take longer than PSA 10s would, but that's why I went with somebody very fluid like Macklin. Most of my cards at his PSA stuff sells within the first week. You know, sometimes within the first day I've sold a bunch of cards. So anyways, that's kind of what we had there. It's a shorter reveal here today, but something different. Sorry for all my baseball fans that I only have hockey here, but just trying to test some things and having a more controlled group and cards that have some good value. So I might be looking for something similar, cards I can pick up relatively cheap that I want back soon. So, you know, example might be like a Chase DeLauder, who doesn't have any cards anyways, but if I can get, you know, some of his like maybe base firsts, stack of those, get those out and get those back before he starts getting rookie cards in and stuff and other things like that, I think you're going to see quite a bit of value in. That's kind of where CGC has the value, is you can turn that around real much quicker. And if you can beat the PSA cards to market, you're even more likely to be able to move a lot of them. So if you're getting them back later and, you know, a lot of the PSA cards are in the market, then you're kind of down. If it was a little bit sooner, I would say basketball is a good target too, but they're about ready to start their playoffs, and, you know, as teams get eliminated and stuff, a lot of that starts to go down. But had I sent off like a month earlier to get back right around the start of the playoffs, that would be something that I'd be targeting. Same with hockey, like I did here. And there might be some football stuff. Some of the Topps football that's coming out might be another target for some of these CGCs, because one, you can just get them to market quicker, you know. And if I'm getting obviously anything on the higher end, I would probably send a PSA on the football stuff, but anything earlier that I wanted to get back and try to beat the PSA stuff, I mean, this is the way I'd go. Obviously there's some people that are paying extra to get their PSA stuff earlier, but even when I've tried that recently, I'm getting it back about the same time I am my bulk. So that's kind of a reason to rush this a little bit. So anyways, that's kind of my thought process on that. I'm going to get these listed up. If you are interested in these cards, they will be on my eBay site. You can see link in the description. Definitely love any comments. If you think this strategy is good, have any ideas, any thoughts, you know, definitely would love to discuss them. And, you know, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. That'll help you you get notified. Obviously, if you sub and notify, you'll be guaranteed to. But even if you just give it a thumbs up, you're more likely to get more content like this if you liked it. Not just mine, but others that are similar. So do the thumbs up, do the like, subscribe if you want. You know, definitely appreciate any of that. Give some comments if you have. Definitely be willing to discuss those with you. So anyways, thanks for watching Sweet Trading Cards, and I hope you have a great day.